Since the release of the first deep dive video, additional evidence has surfaced to help support evident foul play, inconsistencies regarding the investigation, and the suppression of case information from the general public, particularly those still residing in the vicinity from where the incident occurred on Rovenna Street. Unreleased audio. The following audio includes statements from neighbors of Lazette Hoglund-Hall on the day of Elizabeth Santos' death. All these statements were recorded by the Anchorage PD on August 8, 2020, a few hours after the incident during a neighborhood canvass. Many even mentioned noticing Elizabeth along with her blue truck in the days leading up to the incident, but to this day are completely unaware that they'd be some of the last people to see her alive. Pay close attention to the concern, disbelief, and confusion of each neighbor, especially when they noticed the white homicide van parked on their street.
All I can remember is I know I heard the scream, but I thought it came from on the other backside, and I couldn't tell you what time it was.
Could you tell whether it was a male or female?
No, I couldn't tell you that.
What is your name, sir?
Brian.
BR with a
Hi.
last name?
R-U-T-K-A.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Detective Elby with APD. I'm just curious if you heard or seen anything this morning.
I didn't see, I heard. Except I thought it was on that side of the house because our bedroom is on that side and the window was on that side. So I woke up because I heard a woman screaming, screaming. I couldn't say what she was saying. And I got up and it stopped and I was like, okay. I'm like going, was I dreaming that or was that? And then I listened to see if there was anything else and there was nothing else. But that's all I heard was the initial screaming. But she was saying something, but I couldn't hear her say it. I couldn't. It was like it woke me up, so I wasn't really paying attention to exactly what her words were. But it was high pitched shrieking and indiscernible words. I don't know how to describe it.
And your name, ma'am?
Holly.
Same last name, Rutka?
Yes, sir.
No.
I did think of one other thing. I didn't know if it would apply to anything. Because I've been working from home for the last month. The blue truck over there, that lady showed up about a week and a half ago. And I know that the landlord doesn't know anything about it. They didn't know a third person was there. It was just supposed to be the mom and the son is all they knew about.
That helps out a lot.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
She only said 2 sentences, but she came out screaming, I think. I know there was screaming and just the loudest voice you can ever hear someone put out, like just real loud. Like just scream, something like that.
Do you have any recording devices that might capture the street?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you. That sure helps out a lot.
Did someone die?
Yes.
Officer?
Yes.
Was it a woman?
Yes.
Okay, it must be the same. Yeah, I'm like, man, how come nobody come out of the house? How come nobody, pay a little bit more attention? And I don't live here. This is my friend's house. I was just wondering how come nobody come out. So I opened up the blind and it just went quiet. First of all, I didn't even know which house, because usually you would see someone on the street or some, but this case here was, it was different. But sometimes you hear that and nothing happens.
Yeah. But most of the time, right?
Yeah, most of the time. But when I see the van parking out front.
Yeah, it's not good when you see that van.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's too bad. But I'm pretty sure she was arguing with a boy. Got to be. My guess. My intuition said that something with the boy. But man, I haven't heard somebody scream out of her lungs like that in a long time.
I heard this girl scream on her phone. I was asleep. And I got woken up by her yelling. She was talking on her phone, screaming on her phone. That's all I heard. And then she ran back into her house. I think it was that house over there.
Where was she when you saw her?
In her driveway, or I don't know if that's her driveway. She was on the driveway over there.
The house directly south of you?
Yeah.
Have you seen this person before?
Yeah, I've seen her like live here, but I haven't talked to her or anything like that. That's about it. No.
But besides that, was there anything else out of the ordinary this morning?
No. I just heard the screaming and I just went back to sleep. That's all.
You said this was somewhere around 6 and...
It's around 6 a.m.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for your time.
So is there something we should be worried about with kids over here? Or?
No.
No? Okay.
You know, I do work with the homicide unit, but we feel this incident is isolated. So, and you don't have any cameras pointing towards the south, do you?
No. Yeah, we don't have any cameras, unfortunately. Okay. We do, but not installed. So.
Well, thank you guys very much.
Okay, thank you.
Wondering if you heard anything this morning that might have woke you up.
Yeah, my wife heard it, but I sleep very deep. She told me that she heard that somebody scream, and then after that the police. But she's not here right now.
Sure. I may give your wife a call a little later this afternoon just to hear that from her. But,
Yeah, I sleep really deep, but when I wake up for go to work, and she said, "Oh, you heard this morning?" I said, "No, what happened?" She said that another side of the screaming, the woman screaming.
Last name?
Donis.
How do I spell that?
D-O-N-I-S.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Something happened around here?
Yeah, we had a lady die this morning. We're just making sure anybody didn't see or hear anything.
Die over here in this neighborhood?
Yeah, other side of the road here. But if anything comes up, do you have any cameras pointed in that direction?
No, I don't.
How about to the front of your house?
I don't have any cameras there.
Okay.
Like 2 days ago, and there was a Suburban that pulled up.
Okay, what's your name, ma'am?
Cat, K-A-T-T, Sadler, S-A-D-D-L-E-R.
Okay.
Okay, so
4 days ago?
no, 2 days ago,
2 days ago.
at 4 a.m. in the morning, around 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I came out to smoke a cigarette, and there was a truck that had pulled up and dropped off somebody at this location.
Okay.
And he went inside for about maybe 2 to 5 minutes and then came out, and the girl was screaming at him, and they got in this huge fight, and he jumped back in the truck, and the entire time that he was driving away, they were screaming and throwing stuff at each other.
So they're inside the vehicle together, or they're...
No.
she's
She was
following him
running
down the
after
road?
him. Yeah.
So he gets out in the house for a few minutes?
Yeah. Like literally maybe enough time to take his shoes off.
Woman comes out.
Screaming at him, obscenities.
And then she follows him down the street.
On foot. He's in a truck, and he takes off that way and skirts around that corner so freaking fast that we're gonna split.
Oh. Now, did you hear the yelling last night?
I personally didn't hear the screaming. I heard all the cars pull up.
Okay.
And my man heard the screaming as well.
Okay. Is he here?
Yeah.
So, he heard the screaming this morning and the screaming 2 days ago?
No, I'm the one who heard the screaming.
Oh, okay. Alright.
He was asleep by that time.
Did you see the lady? You obviously you saw the lady. What was
Yeah.
the description on her?
Kind of maybe a little overweight. Taller than me, maybe like 5'7"-ish. And she was in like a, I don't know, like a sleep dress, moo-moo thing with slippers. Because she took one of her slippers off and chucked it at the vehicle.
She threw a slipper at him, huh?
Yeah, at the vehicle, but they were screaming at each other the entire time, so I figured if I'd bring it up.
How old do you think the lady is?
Oh, maybe mid-30s, early 40s.
White,
Maybe
black,
younger?
native, Hispanic.
White with not super white skin, though. Like maybe she had a tan or something.
Hi, how are you?
I don't know. I was here, get some stuff done, and I came in early. Came in a couple hours ago. Everything's fine. I come out. I'm like, what's ATV doing on our street?
So we're investigating a death.
Oh no.
Happened sometime this morning, but did he see or hear anything in the early hours of the day?
No, because I work so much, and I'm lucky to have 2 days off from TLC.
It's crazy.
No, this is just a good neighborhood, though. It's like we don't have anything going on. It's just odd because I've been on this street for almost 11 years, and I never had anything like this happen. If I hear anything, I definitely will give you guys a call. Because my daughter saw on the news, she's like, called me. She's over at Franklin. She said, Mom, is that her box?
Yeah, it's never good to see that van.
The following statement is from a neighbor that lives only 2 houses down from Lazette.
Hey, hi, come here. Yeah, there was a real loud holler we heard this morning.
Okay. About what time?
She'll know about the exact time, but it was pretty early.
And your name, sir?
Britt Marsh. Hey, what did you hear this morning, hon? Exactly. And what time?
I
Do you remember?
It was right around 6 o'clock. The only thing I can't say 100%, but I thought I heard, go ahead and do it. That's all I remember.
Do you know if it was a male or female saying that?
It was a female saying it. She was yelling at the top of her lungs. Someone died.
Yeah.
Oh,
We had that
I'm
feeling.
sick from that.
Anytime we see y'all show up with that big thing there, we know
Did a
something.
female die?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But listen, I'm sure it would have been the same result regardless.
Oh, yeah. No. So she was worried about that, too.
I was. I woke
Falling
up
down.
and said,
She's like,
hear that? He
Britt,
goes, no. And it stopped, and that was the only thing I heard was that.
Because the police were here,
Immediately?
yeah, that's what I seen.
Oh,
that job
God.
order
Sick,
here immediately.
really?
Yeah.
Did you recognize the voice belonging to any person?
No, I don't know my neighbors at all, except for Tony across the street and Lydia right here. That's it.
Ma'am, what is your name?
Chris. K-R-I-S. Brandon. B-R-A-N-D-O-N.
The 911 call. The 911 emergency call was placed around 6 a.m. Keep in mind that Lazette claimed that she and her son Desmond Hall hid in a bathroom to call 911, and that Elizabeth had been loudly banging on the bathroom door.
Is she banging on the doors, trying to open the door?
It felt like she was about to bust open the doors, right?
Okay, so it was like loud bangs trying to get in?
Yeah, like boom, boom.
But, as you can hear for yourself, there is no banging.
Okay, is it just you and her inside the residence, or is there somebody else there too?
No, my son is here too.
How old is your son?
He's 22.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get officers out as soon as we can.
Also, something that should be mentioned is that Lazette lives in a duplex, and her next-door neighbor, that she shares a wall with, did not recall hearing any noise around that time either. She did, however, mention hearing banging noises around 3 a.m.
So what did you notice?
So during the night, so her friend stayed the night last night, and so my daughter's room is right here, and then my partner who lives here too, his daughters are not here, but their room is right on connecting to that wall. And so the girls were up late last night, and then Micaiah said she can tell you this, but she heard thumping. But then we did talk about it because I thought the girls came up. I thought her friend Sarah came up and slept on the couch because she was going to stay in the little girl's room. And so I just asked Micaiah that. I'm like, did Sarah come upstairs? And so I did hear some thumping on that wall up there as well.
You did too?
Yeah, we both heard noises.
About what time?
About 3:30, maybe 4.
Did you hear any talking or anything?
No, I can't really hear too much. I'll hear occasionally music and then mostly just thumping on those walls.
So just music and thumping, mainly?
I didn't hear music last night, though.
Just thumping?
Yeah.
Did you hear anything else or see anything?
Not that I remember.
It seemed like it was all inside, or was it partially outside, or?
Inside for sure. And we didn't hear any of the ambulance or anything like that. But one note I wanted to make, and the blue truck though, we've only noticed show up in the last week or so. And we didn't recognize the gal that had it. So, I mean, we hear noises during the night. I'm a light sleeper, so I would hear noises anyway. So it didn't really seem anything out of the ordinary, to be honest.
Additional evidence. To further add to this, a recent conversation between Desmond Hall and a private investigator also confirms that Elizabeth did not stab herself.
Like, I saw glances of her outside the bathroom. She approached me butt naked as I was coming out of the bathroom, talking about how much she loved me, and I practically ignored her. I did ignore her.
Wow. Was she coming out of the bathroom, or you were coming out of the bathroom?
I was coming out of the bathroom.
And that was just during the time that she stayed with you and your mother, is that correct?
Yes.
And would that be on the same day that Elizabeth passed away?
It was pretty close. It was like, yeah.
Okay.
It must have been like 2 a.m., 1 a.m.
Sure.
But technically the same day.
And
either that or barely the day before.
Did Elizabeth ever mention the traumatic incident that happened with her boyfriend, or I guess ex-boyfriend, you could call him?
No, she didn't.
Okay. And Desmond, how are you taking all this? How's this been affecting your life?
Well, I mean, I know it's been very stressful on my mom, and I know that she's had issues with the family, and it's like hard for me to know that like all that chaos happened in our home. Like, she might have like died at the hospital or on the way there, but still, like, it's almost like, I don't know, there's a ghost in our home now.
So maybe you could walk me through.
If me and her are guilty of something, it's that we didn't hide the knives from her. And at some point, she cut herself. I couldn't tell where she cut herself or how deep. It didn't seem too bad. There wasn't much blood, but right before she got taken away, and right before we called the police, she was in the kitchen and grabbed a knife, and I didn't see her grab the knife. I didn't see her cutting herself.
And from what I understand, there was some kind of physical altercation between Elizabeth and your mother. Is that correct? Did you see any of that, or did you hear that, or how did that come about to your knowledge?
I heard it. I didn't see it. I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
I imagine it was something minor. I didn't see any marks on Elizabeth or my mom from a physical conflict, if there was one. Okay. I know that there was some shouting going on.
I understand. And so I imagine when you emerged from your room, hearing the commotion, there was some damage in the house as well. Is that correct?
No, not really. Nothing that I could tell.
There was no damage, no sort of signs of a struggle or tussle or anything.
No, if there was a physical conflict, it was probably just like a minor slap or scratch, or and a slap back or a scratch. Nothing like really major. They weren't like fist fighting. They weren't like wrestling or anything like that.
After further review of the crime scene photos, it was determined that there was actually a fourth knife found on the scene that was never mentioned in the police report. This knife was found in the garage, only a few feet from where Lazette said the fight between her and Elizabeth occurred. Further pushback and suppression of the incident. The Santos family has also attempted to gain police dashcam footage of the APD patrol officers Tayoun and Valeria Estrella's initial arrival at Lazette's home, but the APD claimed that this footage does not exist. Based on jurisdictional restrictions, only an attorney licensed in Alaska can help the Santos family fight for justice. However, some local public figures and politicians in the state have tried to assist them, but their respective pleas have fallen on deaf ears. To date, the family and their countless supporters have reached out to various law firms in Alaska, the State Bar Association, the Alaska Bureau of Investigations, the ACLU, and countless reporters, including the only reporter who wrote about the incident, Marlise Irby of KTUU. Their pleas for assistance have been ignored constantly, and reporter Marlise Irby eventually left the station without ever replying to requests to update her article. Other reporters in Anchorage have interviewed the family and promised to release the story, but never have. The head of APD's homicide unit, Bianca Cross, and her superior officers still insist that the blood-soaked open robe that Elizabeth was wearing was actually soaked in sweat. Based on police reports, Lazette claims that the only substance she gave Elizabeth in the hours leading up to her death was 4 Benadryl pills. However, the substance detected in the toxicology report was midazolam, a drug used to treat seizures, although Elizabeth did not suffer from epilepsy. The APD continues to claim that there were no signs of a struggle and that they have no suspects. To date, the APD refuses to process any of the collected forensic information collected on the day of the incident. So, in essence, they are supporting the idea that after winning a fight, Elizabeth somehow stabbed herself multiple times with multiple knives while banging on a locked door and had time to neatly clean each one and place them all in different locations before the officers arrived on the scene. To date, everyone supporting the fight for justice is still left wondering why it's so important for the APD to disregard this case and for their local news to ignore the incident. APD case number 20-24631.